check your thermostat. Now, imagine it's broken. Outside, it's 120 degrees. No AC, no fridge, no electricity has ever existed. That was normal life for most of human history. And somehow, people survived it. Not just survived. Some of them lived more comfortably than you do in a heat wave with a broken AC unit today. Today, we're going to 5 places: ancient Persia, ancient Egypt, the Indus Valley, ancient Rome, and the deserts of the American Southwest. 5 civilizations, 5 continents apart, who never spoke to each other, never shared a single idea, and somehow all cracked the same impossible problem. How do you stay cool with nothing but mud, water, and air? Let's start with the one that sounds like a magic trick. 400 BC, Persia, modern-day Iran, daytime temperature, 120 degrees. And Persian engineers are about to make ice appear out of nothing. They build a dome. Some were taller than a 5-story building. Underneath it, a deep pit. Next to it, shallow pools of water, hidden from the sun behind tall walls all day. Here's the part that shouldn't work. At night, even when the air never drops below freezing, that water freezes solid anyway. Why? Because in dry desert air, heat doesn't stay trapped near the ground. It escapes straight up into the sky itself. The water is literally dumping its warmth into outer space. By sunrise, there's a sheet of ice. Workers break it, carry it underground, and do it again, night after night, until the pit is packed with ice that lasts an entire summer. And the dome protecting it, built from a mortar made of sand, clay, ash, goat hair, and egg whites, 6 feet thick, barely lets any heat through at all. On top of some of these, a tower with no moving parts pulled wind from high above the rooftops and pushed it straight down inside, dropping the indoor temperature almost 20 degrees. A fully passive refrigerator in a desert. 2,000 years before anyone plugged in a fridge. Now, cross into Egypt, where the problem wasn't just heat. It was wind that felt like an oven. Their fix sat on the roof. A wind scoop called a malkoff, angled to catch the breeze. But here's the detail almost nobody notices. Wind near the ground drags along hot earth and picks up heat. Wind higher up, above the rooftops, is faster and cooler. The malkoff grabbed that higher air and funneled it down through a shaft that got narrower and narrower, speeding it up as it squeezed through. And right where that air entered the house, wet reed mats, damp cloth. As the hot, dry air pushed through, the water evaporated, and evaporation pulls heat straight out of the air. What walked into the room wasn't just a breeze. It was a cold, humid breeze, engineered with nothing but geometry and wet reeds. There are wall paintings from the 100 BC showing these built directly into rooftops. This isn't a theory. It's over 3,000 years old, and it's painted on a wall. But Persia and Egypt cooled buildings. The Indus Valley cooled an entire city. 4,000 years ago, in what's now Pakistan, the city of Mohenjo-Daro wasn't just built. It was engineered like a machine. The streets were laid out on a grid, aligned exactly with the compass, so the main roads would catch the wind and funnel it straight through the city like a tunnel. Even the street corners were rounded off, not just for carts turning, for airflow, so wind wouldn't get stuck and stagnant at sharp angles. Houses had thick brick walls that soaked up heat slowly during the day and let it go at night. Almost no windows faced the street. Every room opened onto a shaded courtyard instead, so air had already cooled in the shade before it ever touched a person inside. And in the city of Dorlavira, on a brutal, dry island, engineers turned a third of the entire city into stone reservoirs, some 20 feet deep. Yes, for drinking water. But also, all that exposed water was constantly evaporating, quietly cooling the air across the whole city. An entire civilization, engineered around temperature. 1,000 years before Rome ever built a planned grid city. Speaking of Rome, wealthy Romans weren't satisfied with shade. They wanted ice water running through their walls. Their homes were built around an open courtyard with a shallow pool cut into the floor and a skylight above it, so hot air escaped upward while the pool cooled the air near the ground. But the richest Romans went further. Using the same aqueducts that fed their public baths, they ran ice-cold mountain spring water directly through pipes inside their walls. Radiant cooling. Almost 2,000 years before anyone patented the idea. And then there's the teenage emperor Elagabalus, who apparently hated summer so much he had slaves haul mountains of snow down from the mountains on donkeys and pile it inside his private garden, just to feel a cool breeze. Historians aren't sure how much of that story is exaggerated, but true or not, it tells you something. People wanted to escape the heat so badly, they'd build a literal mountain of snow in the desert to do it. Last stop, the American Southwest. No mud domes, no aqueducts, just rock. The ancestral Puebloans built entire multi-story stone villages tucked into natural alcoves and sandstone cliffs facing south. In summer, the sun travels high and steep, so the rock overhang above the village blocked it completely. The whole settlement sat in cool shade, all day, every day. In winter, the sun drops low enough to shine straight onto those same walls, warming the stone through the day so it could release that heat back into the homes overnight. No fire needed for daytime cooling, no fuel burned for comfort, just a precise understanding of exactly where the sun would be. Months in advance, engineered directly into the choice of where to build. Here's what should stop you. None of these civilizations ever met. Different continents, different centuries. No shared language, no shared technology. And every single one of them landed on the same handful of tools. Shade, airflow, evaporating water, thick walls that store heat and release it slowly. No electricity, no refrigerant, just an extremely precise understanding of how heat physically moves. And here's the part that should really get you. This didn't stay in the past. In 2017, engineers ran modern simulations on Persian yacht hulls, and they still work exactly as designed. Architects across the Middle East and South Asia are reviving wind catchers in ancient street grids right now to build skyscrapers that barely need power to stay cool. The blueprint for surviving the next 100 years of rising heat might already have been written 4,000 years ago. So next time your air conditioner struggles in a heat wave, remember this. People solved this exact problem with mud, water, wind, and the night sky. They just had to be a lot smarter about it than we are. If this changed how you look at your own AC unit, hit like. Subscribe if you want more stories like this. There are thousands of them, and most people never hear them. And drop a comment. Which one of these 5 would you have actually survived?